Hello, my beautiful keto friends. Today, I am making keto solid gold soup. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Do you remember solid gold on TV? We danced. We danced all the time. We were so thin. Oh my goodness. I'm hoping this soup is going to be so good that it's going to make you want to dance again. So it is going to be golden in color, absolutely gorgeous. Chicken, cauliflower, all these vegetables that you see here. Let's get started right away. Welcome back to the channel. I'm RJ. That's my green pan, Elite, beeping at me. I figured it's one of my cameras is going offline. It preheats so fast. It's at 400 already. We're going to start out with a little bit of butter. You know, I have this wonderful butter stick that says no such thing as too much butter. I just love it. So I'm going to put, instead of olive oil, I do want the char of a little bit of butter. A little bit, she says. If my tallow had been sitting out, I'd use that too. And I have some chicken breast, 2 cups of chicken breast. And to the chicken, I'm going to add about, what do you think that is? A half an onion, a half a small onion, 1 small medium onion. It was actually about half of a really big onion. But for the recipe, which I dreamed up this morning while I was resisting the urge to get busy today. And so it was a half of a huge onion and it was a half of a half. So 1 small onion chopped, maybe a half an onion, medium. And then I have this. I already minced up some garlic. This was 3 big cloves. You don't have to use any at all if you don't want to. And you're going to want to stay till the end to see the secret ingredient that I'm going to throw in at the very end. It's just, this is going to be very different. There's nothing quite as easy as making a big old pot of soup. And I'm in Nevada. It was gorgeous today. It's going to get cold next week. We're right around, what's today, the 11th, around Thanksgiving. I'm stuck. Around Valentine's Day. And so it's cold everywhere. I have family in Ohio, and they're freezing. My dad said it was about 22 degrees there today and icy on the sidewalk, so I worry about him. Okay, so we are going to just saute the chicken and the onion and the garlic. Oh, I wish you could smell this. I hope you'll make it so you can see how delightful this is. Gosh, nothing else smells like butter and onions and garlic and some kind of meat cooking. So good. Look at that. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? As soon as the chicken is cooked, seared, I'm going to take it out and reserve it. Then I'm going to saute some of the vegetables in a special order. So you want to pay attention so you don't mess up. If you do decide to make this, I hope you'll make it. It's going to be so good. And with my wonderful green pan here, look at that. It's got a diamond finish, so nothing sticks to it. You can just clean it out with a cloth. Anyway, I just love it. It's new. So I love my kitchen toys. So as soon as the chicken is done, I'm going to put it in a bowl, and then I'm going to saute the next few ingredients and add stock and cook it. And then when we're all done with that, well, actually, we're done with this. I'm going to puree it with my stick blender. We're going to have, this is going to be so texturally sublime. It's solid gold, baby. Let's do the pony while we're waiting. Oh my goodness, where's the music? I have it in my head all the time. I hope you do too. I love cooking for you. If you're enjoying the content, please hit the like and subscribe button and feel free to share this with your friends. I'm growing my channel. I dream of one day hitting 100,000 subscribers, but right now I'd love to get to 2,000. So if you have any friends who are on keto, send them the videos. I'm making a lot of soups and desserts. Okay, that's it. We just want to make sure that all the pink is gone. Oopsie. Let me do this. Ooh, boy, that is really hot. I'm going to put a little more butter in there. And I am going to saute this cauliflower that I broke into little florets. I don't know, my vegetables tend to run away from me. Pretty funny. Okay, I am going to add a little bit of chicken stock or bone broth, chicken bone broth that I found at the grocery store today. Look at how pretty that is. Because we want the cauliflower, I want it to sear, but I also want it to get soft. So I'm going to cover it and let this cook. And I'm not putting the vegetables in yet. You're going to see why. And then you're not even going to believe how I'm going to finish this off. Not just serving it. The last 20 minutes, a special ingredient is going in. It's going to take it over the top. I'll tell you what, too. If you want to, if you like spicy, you could add, when this is all done, you could add some bitchin sauce. You could add curry powder. This is solid gold soup, which means you can fuss with it and adapt it to your taste. I'm going to make it kind of mild for spiciness, but you can level it up any way you like. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on this. It gets so quiet when you finally don't hear that searing. But I'm going to let this cook for about 20 minutes, maybe 30, until it's tender. And then you won't believe what I'm going to do with it. One of the things that I really love about this Green Pan Elite, I think it's 8-quart cooker, might be 6 quarts. Anyway, you can control the temperature so much better than on the stove. And I will link to this down below. But I have to tell you, I added a little more broth. It cooked at 350 precisely. 350 for about 18 minutes. And look at this cauliflower. It's so tender. It's just, I don't want to scrape the pan, but you can see it's just falling apart. This is exactly what I wanted. I also added some salt, pepper, onion powder, and a little red chili flakes and some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. I will put the recipe down below in the description, so you don't have to worry about keeping up with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the cauliflower into this big bowl so that I can do something with it. I'm keeping a secret from you. Okay, let's see if I can get this in there. Not that it's hot. Oh, that was easy. That was really easy. Look at that. Okay. I have to line up the power. There we go. Oh, super easy. I'm going to add a little bit more of the bone broth so that it will blend. And I'm going to add, while it's still hot, some base, because even though I'm using bone broth, I still want to use a little bit of base. So that's some chicken. And one of the tricks that my mother taught me was always, even if you're making chicken soup, use a little bit of beef flavoring, beef bouillon. So I've added a tablespoon of the chicken base, and I'm adding a tablespoon of the beef base. Okay, this is it. We're going to puree the cauliflower. And it was cooked in the pan with the chicken and the onion and the garlic. So it's going to be incredibly flavorful. Okay, that took about a minute and a half. I've set the pan, the slow cooker, onto 220, which is simmer. It's as high as it'll go for a simmer. And I just feel like I have so much control with this. Oh, I have to hit start. Okay, I've put the pureed cauliflower back in here, and I am going to add the vegetables so that they can cook, some of them. Okay, I'm changing the temperature to 210 or 200. Let's do 200. And you know, carrots are hard, so they have to cook. I almost threw them in with the cauliflower, but I wanted their bright color to stand out in the puree. And I also wanted to put the celery in there. I think celery adds a nice texture. I also have this is so funny. I went to the store today to get everything to make the soup, and I do not like cilantro. They say it's genetic. Either you love it or you can't stand it. Well, I can't stand it. And the cilantro is right there next to the parsley. And I went to the parsley bin and I picked it up and I smelled it and I went, okay. Got home. As soon as I started cutting it, I went, this is cilantro. So I'm back to using my dehydrated parsley flakes. You know, they add such a nice pop of color. So that was about a tablespoon of that. And again, the recipe will be down below in the description. And this is 3/4 teaspoon, a 1/2 and 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, which is an anti-inflammatory. It's good for your joints. It's so good for you. So I added that. I'm going to add a little bit more, and this is optional. I have some red chili pepper flakes just to kick it up a little bit, and some of my Tonys that I put in just about everything. You can put this on a steak, put it anywhere, and it just adds a nice kick. So we're going to add a bit of salt, a bit more, but not a lot because there's salt. And if you have an issue with salt, don't add it. Okay, I like a lot of black pepper and a little onion powder. And what I like about this, the pepper got me, is even though we have onion and garlic in there, sometimes using a powder version of that spice is going to really make a difference. It's going to permeate through the entire soup and get it going, imparting the flavor into every corner of it, every vegetable. Now, you noticed I didn't put in the zucchini yet. And again, at the store today, I was going to get they were little, so I was going to get 2 zucchinis. And the yellow squash looked so good, I thought, well, that will be beautiful in my solid gold soup. This is one thing I'd love to inspire you with, is when you're at the store, say you decided you're going to make a standing prime rib or chicken cutlets or something, and you get to the store, those don't look good. I've done this when I'm having friends for dinner. I promise them lamb chops, and I get to the store and the lamb chops don't look good. So you never want to commit yourself to something, but you also want to be very flexible. When you get to the store, there might be something on sale that you didn't imagine. There might be something that just looks better. This almost looks like my chicken paprikash because of the carrots and the golden color of this base. This is going to be great. Okay, so we're going to let it cook for a while, 30 minutes. I'm looking at my timer here on this pot. So 30 minutes at 200. And then I'm going to, then I'm going to add the squash and cook it for another 30 minutes. The reason I'm not putting these in is they just don't need as much cooking time as something hard like the carrots, okay? And I didn't add the carrots earlier because I wanted to puree the cauliflower. Now, when I put these in, I will also reincorporate the chicken and the sauteed onions and garlic. Do you know the flavor this is going to have? I'm so excited. And then when I serve it, I'm going to add another main ingredient for the last 20 minutes. And it's super easy. It's just open a bag and put it in. It's going to be so good. And no, it's not cheese. But when we serve it, I bought some 3-pepper Colby Jack. And I'm going to shred some of that just because of the bright colors. I think it's going to be amazing when we finish it. So stay with me. If you're enjoying the content, please like, comment, share with your keto friends, and subscribe. If you subscribe and you comment, I can see that you've subscribed, and I will thank you for that because, like I said, I'm trying to grow my channel. So I want to share this amazing keto journey with all the beautiful people who are taking care of themselves and taking control of themselves. So this is great. It's going to cook for 25 minutes. I'll come back. I'll add the rest of the vegetables and the chicken, and we're going to cook that down because this is just seared. It's not cooked all the way. And we'll get these vegetables a little soft, but they'll still have their shape. That's why I'm doing it in steps like this. Super easy. I just cut up everything ahead of time. Knowing when to add them is the trick. So, and I can't wait to show you what I'm going to throw in at the end. You're just going to love it. It's been cooking for about an hour, and you can see it's boiling. Can you see? It's still boiling. And I wanted to make sure I added a little more stock, and I wanted to make sure that the carrots were cooking. And I'll tell you what, if you want to make this faster, cook the carrots ahead of time. You can boil them in a saucepan on the stove. You could microwave them, but I think microwaving kind of kills some of the nutrition. So I wouldn't do that. But here we go. I'm going to add the chicken. Oh, that looks so good. Look at that. And I'm going to add the diced zucchini and the yellow crookneck squash. There's an onion hiding in there. Okay, there we go. And we're going to stir that in because the chicken still needs to cook for about 30 minutes or so. The zucchini will be able to cook without getting too mushy. We want it to still have a little texture, a little bite there. And I decided to add some regular chicken stock instead of bone broth for a few reasons. The bone broth has 1 carb per cup. So it's 4 carbs per box, and this is 0. So that was the primary reason. And this is low sodium chicken stock, so it has less salt in it. Now you don't want it too soupy. And because we pureed the roasted cauliflower, the cooked cauliflower, you can see it's going to be the most incredible texture when this all cooks down. And I told you I have a surprise ingredient. I'm going to add that now. I thought I would be able to add it later, but the carrots took a while to cook. So we adjust as we go. I've made this before, and it's the riced cauliflower. They sell it at Costco, and I'll put a picture here of it, and it has seasoning in it. It works great for Asian dishes too, but it's riced cauliflower with a little bit of peas and red bell pepper and corn, and it's got a little seasoning to it. And I thought this is why I pureed the cauliflower earlier. But you want something that gives the soup body. It's going to be solid gold with the turmeric, crushed red pepper. And you know, turmeric can get spicy, so you want to take it easy. If you're sensitive to spice, maybe only use 1/4 or 1/2 teaspoon of the turmeric. It's so good for you. So this is it. And I'm setting this at soup. It actually has a soup setting. I'm going to set the timer for an hour, and then it'll be done, and I'm going to serve it with some special shredded cheese that I bought today and some diced avocado, some cool avocado. You could put some sour cream on top of this when it's all done. And we're just going to get this back up to a boil and let it cook for another 30 minutes to an hour. Well, they don't call it a slow cooker for nothing, right? This soup was so easy to make. I want you to see how beautiful the vegetables have held up because I cooked them last. And it's colorful. And I love that cauliflower, the riced cauliflower from Costco, has little bits of red bell pepper. And then I've got the carrots in there and the yellow squash. This is solid gold. I love it. And you know, I love an easy soup. I love anything where you put everything in one bowl or one pot. But I love an easy soup. And it was funny because when I was dreaming this up this morning, it's unlike any other soup I've had. Yes, there's chicken. Yes, there's vegetables. But I wanted something with a little kick, a little different from everything else we've had that all come together. So let's see how it is. Let's see how I did with my new invention here of solid gold soup. Now you can see, I hope you can see in that, the beautiful, colorful vegetables and the chunks of chicken. I love that I went for the yellow crookneck squash. That's so beautiful. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous bowl of soup. Now, how am I going to finish it? Some surprises. You're not even going to believe this. I thought it'd be very nice to have a little bit of cool diced avocado. You know, it adds a fat and it's so good for you. So we're going to put a few pieces of avocado on here. And I found a good one that was perfectly ripe. I also found, it's everywhere. I also found this wonderful, it's boar's head, 3-pepper Kojak cheese, Colby and Jack cheese. And I shredded some of it here. So we can put some of that. I wanted you to see how it looks in a block. So if you go to buy it, you can say, oh, that's the cheese that RJ had. And it has more red peppers in it. And again, you know, I don't want to scare you. Turmeric can be spicy. It's in the curry family. And this is spicy too. But I didn't just want like boring chicken soup. And then a little bit of Parmesan cheese because that makes everything wonderful. I'm a huge fan of Parm. When I made my first, I think it was Italian sausage soup on this channel, I made crispy bacon and shredded Parmesan cheese when I went to serve it. And now I think soup would just be naked without that kind of finish, that kind of topping. Just look how beautiful that is for a gorgeous bowl of soup. If you had company coming, you could make this for them. So here goes. The cheese is starting to melt. I want to get a little piece of chicken and some avocado in there. Oh, and the cheese is stringy. Oh, wow. This is so good. Oh, the pepper cheese is hot. I'm going to dance like a solid gold dancer now. Okay, maybe not. I used to have a long ponytail, and those girls would do this. I don't think I could do that today with my neck the way it is, but every once in a while, my ponytail goes wild. Oh, I love it with the avocado in it. What a nice touch. I got to tell you something. If you're in a cold weather climate, this is going to put some meat on your bones, literally. This is so good. Oh, can you see that? Big string of cheese there that I would be dangling from my chin. You know what it reminds me of? A little bit of chili, because it's got that kick. There's no beans in it. There's no beef in it, but it's kind of like a white chili, a white chicken chili, only it's not that spicy. You can put in less turmeric, less Tony's, less crushed red pepper if you want to stay away from the spicier stuff. But if you're looking for something that will warm you up on a cold winter night, this is it. You're going to love this. Wow. What a great bowl of soup. And look at what I've got. Do you know, let me turn this off. Do you know how many Tupperware containers I'm going to fill? And then one day when it's breezy here, I'll just go to the freezer and get a container and heat it up on the stove and just think, that was so good of you to do this for your future self. You know, I hope you're into soup. I hope you love this recipe. I hope you'll try it. And seriously, get creative. That's the best thing about soup is you can do anything you want to it. You don't have to add avocado. You don't have to add shredded cheese. I like finishing a soup with a topping. And if you've ever been to, very high-end restaurants, you never just get a bowl of soup. It's got some crouton or a lobster claw or creme fraiche or something drizzled on it to finish it off. Look at that pop of color that the avocado gives it. It's so wonderful. It'll keep you healthy. I hope you're working out and walking and staying healthy and fit, drinking lots of water, staying hydrated, and making a big pot of soup. Maybe you have a green pan like this. This is just such a blessing because you can really control the thermostat, unlike on the stove. And I have, a halogen stove that lights up, but I really am enjoying this. It's a new present for me that I got around holiday time. Anyway, I'm going to eat my soup before it gets cold. It is so good. And I love that it's creamy from the pureed cauliflower. It's nice vegetables. And then you've got the rice cauliflower in the broth, which is substituting really for like rice or noodles in a soup. You've got the riced cauliflower that has cooked now. It's just so wonderful. It's got so much color, texture, taste. It's great. I look forward to hearing your comments. Please let me know if you make it, if you did anything different, or if you followed it to the T. I'm really excited to share this with you. You stay beautiful. Valentine's Day is in a few days, and I said this on my last video. If you're alone for Valentine's Day, you're never really alone anyway. But if you feel like you don't have a boyfriend or a husband or a wife or a girlfriend, do something really special for yourself. If you can afford a massage, go get that, or a pedicure, or buy yourself some sugar-free chocolate, something that makes you flowers. They're 0 carbs, some flowers, and celebrate, spend some quality time with yourself. And that's not just for Valentine's Day. That's for any time of the year. If you're watching this and it's in August or September or November, doesn't matter. Take care of yourself. I love you. And thank you for joining me. This is RJ for Keto Over 50, and I'll see you next time.